Hi, this is Stefan Edwards from eManage One, and in the following video, I'm going to be showing you how to create groups in eManage and also show you what groups can be used for. So to start, on the right side of my screen over here, there's a tab called Groups. And in here, if I click on that tab at the bottom down here is Group Manager. And it opens up this window and it says Create, Edit, and Share Groups. So what I can do is I'm going to create a new group, and I'm just going to call this sample group. And then once I save this group, it's going to load it in my list here. And there's my sample group, which I spelt wrong. It's SMAMPLE group. SMAPLE group. So anyways, in this group, now that I created the group, I can start to share this group with other people within the business, within my organization. So these are the available users, so I can share it or not. And one thing and when I do this, this is the assigned user, which is myself. So I did that, and now I created this group. So with this group, I can create as many as I want. And if you notice here in this list, you can start to see how many members are part of the group. So what I'll do is now I can start adding contacts to this group. And one of the things that I could do is I could go right back into groups here, and I could go to view, remove group members. So if I clicked on here, and here's my SMAPLE group, and I click view and remove, this is where I'll show my group. So I don't have any groups there or any people in my group. So what I could do at this point is I can go into my analysis and run analysis, and I can search for contacts. And I can search for contacts based off of the contact status, the company types, the contact types, and so on. So if I wanted to create, say, a group just for education, I could click on the education and then run this query. If I wanted to get down a little deeper, I can look at education and based on the order date. So I can, let's say I want to send in the past, or actually, you know what, rather than doing a date, I'm going to delete that. And I'm going to say last order placed last year. And then I run this group. And what this is going to do, it's going to pull out a list of all these contacts. Okay, so these are all the contacts that are education that have placed an order last year. Now, what I can do is I can select all of these. So I could go through all the way down, and I have, what do I have? 319. And I can shift, and then I click on groups, and I can go to this SMAPLE group and select it, then add contacts to selected group. So I do that, and then what I will do is it's going to add all these contacts to the selected group. So now let's scroll back down, and there it is. It added 319 contacts. Now, if I wanted to create a new group, at this point, I can also create a new group and call this education sample. And I could create a new group and save that. And then go into this education sample and then add the contacts to that as well. So I can quickly and easily add contacts to the groups. And there we go. So now I have 319 as well. And if I want to, I can start to share these groups with people in my company. Now, another way that I can add contacts to a group is I could just go under search. So here's some contacts I search for, and I can select them all, or I could just select two of them, and I can right-click and add to group. And what it does is it brings up my list here, and I have my education sample, and it says 319, and I'm going to add selected contacts. So now that changed to 321. Okay? So now I can add those contacts there. There's actually many different places you can add contacts to these groups, but that's just a couple examples. So when you do start to right click or things like that, you can right off a contact right here, I can add to a group, and so on. Now, what's nice about these groups is one of the things that if I want to send an email to maybe a marketing email to the education market, I can go to compose an email and I can type in education, and here's my education sample. And then if I click this button to send recipients individual emails, it's going to send an email to all 321, because I actually added 2 more to this group, and it will send individual emails to each one of these people. So it's not going to send as a CC or so everybody can see who got the email. It's only going to send it to them. And then it's got a spam, prevent spam filter, which basically puts the contact name inside the subject at the end of the subject. And it's also saving this email to the contact, every individual contact here too. And then you can add documents, and you can also have templates. And I'm not going to get into this in this video, but on the bottom here, if I have a standard template that I was always sending out, these are templates. Like I have order acknowledgements and so on. And even when I do a quote, if I do an eManage quote, all I do is select that, and I say use selected, and everything's already filled out. I don't have to type this information in. But if there was information I do want to change and type in, I can just type it in. But anyways, this is another video about using email templates. But anyways, with these groups, it's really nice because you don't have to add all these people. You can just do it through the group. Also, if you're doing a mail merge, so if you want to send a mail merge by email or print, you could go to your groups and find your groups, and then you could just drag and drop it in here. I'm going to add every single person into this list. And you can either send this by email and as HTML, or you can print this. And it's a mail merge. And this is another video based called using mail merge, eManage mail merge functions. But anyways, quick and easy way to use groups in eManage.